kickstart with understanding herbal medicine. When talk about herbal medicine, what comes in mind, or what would you like the viewer out there to understand?
Herbal medicine is that medicine from plants around us,
Okay.
Fruits, but for us, we also embrace plants from stem barks, root barks. So according to WHO, flowers, all that can embrace what we call herbal medicine.
Wow.
Mostly from plants.
Mostly from plants.
Yes.
Now, has one of the things we want to appreciate herbal medicine for is that people have embraced it with open arms.
Yes.
I think it has been attributed to maybe expensive medicine on the other side,
Yeah.
but the problem of the myths and misconceptions. What could be some of the myths and misconceptions?
People embracing herbal medicine is naturally part of what people think is their own.
Yeah, okay.
People, especially here in Africa, herbal medicine, we feel it's our medicine.
Yes.
If all went well, it would be the first medicine of choice.
Wow.
It's only that the sector gets flooded by people who don't really understand how to present this medicine properly. And as a result, the good side of it is that we have a regulator, National Drug Authority,
Yes.
and I happen to be a board member of National Drug Authority. And under there is a lot going on to ensure that Ugandans access safe and effective herbal medicine. Only that it's still great struggle out there. Yeah, but if wishes were horses, people would opt for that, because first and foremost, even the foods we eat pass as herbals. Because if we talk about onions, garlic, the grains we use, all those fall under that docket.
Yes.
Yes. So it should be the first interface, because we say let food be your medicine.
Yes.
And all that falls in there.
Wow.
Yeah, so Ugandans are really interested. It's just unfortunate that sometimes they don't, we just need to guide them on how to access the best. Yes.
Do you think it is working well?
Yeah, if I start with food, I would say yes. And this is normally at a time you are not sick. But you hardly get to know what keeps you bouncing. Not knowing that anytime you eat what we call turmeric, binzari,
Chinzari Chiganda.
those ones put inflammation at bay. You would, we have some people who are not so fortunate and maybe they are asthmatic, but they eat things which really are supporting them, but they don't know. Okay. You're eating an onion, you may think that it makes your food taste good, but at the same time it's protecting you. Most of the things we use in our cooking, but when it comes to when you're sick, you're already sick, I would say that it's a bit too late to just rely on herbal medicine.
Okay.
There you need to get to what we may call improved version, where value has been added to plants and come out with a dosage form, which is called now medicine, which should be taken in a dosage form. And if it's well prepared, it can be seen to work or not to work. And at the moment, ever since COVID time, Uganda now has an infrastructure of ensuring that medicine can be tested and proven to work, and with the effort of getting it now into healthcare systems, the effort is ongoing there. Other than that, if it's just formulated by somebody who may not be very knowledgeable, it may not work. So it's very important to know, does it work? I'll give an example of medicines that are claimed to be safe for diabetes.
Okay.
Somebody presents to you a herbal saying, this one can lower sugar.
I've seen that. It's very, very prevalent.
The easiest way is for you to check yourself with a glucometer, check your sugar level, supposing it's as high as 15.
Okay.
And then you take this medication. Test after 2 hours to see whether it has gone down, maybe to 13. Yeah, then there, of course, if that happened, definitely I would say that medicine works. But I wouldn't take it so quickly to say that I would religiously use it. Okay, maybe as a researcher, I would say that's a candidate for evaluation, so that we go ahead to evaluate it and see who should use it, who should not use it, how long for will it work alongside the medication you've been taking, because if you've been taking medication, you shouldn't get off straight away and switch on to this one, because the body takes time to adjust. So the idea of working normally goes with testing before and after.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, does herbal medicine really cures diabetes? Does it cure hypertension? Does it cure cancers? Because non-communicables have been a threat. According to the World Health Organization report 2023 says over 50 million people die due to non-communicable diseases. And it's against this background that people have sought for refuge, for healing, and they can't find it. Yet the contribution of the other medicine, should I call it modern medicine, which is so expensive to attain, and the herbal is proving to be a little bit cheap, a little bit. So do you think these non-communicables can be cured by herbals as those who sell them claim?
Wow, it's a loaded question, but I would say non-communicable to begin with. You wouldn't talk of a cure.
Okay.
These are complex situations. Talk of diabetes. At play, you will find the issue of cholesterol, which may plug the blood vessels, and then you also have hypertension. It's rare that you just have a blood sugar challenge. That would be the side of hypertension. There could even be obesity. So many things together. In any case, they even call it it's a syndrome. You know. So you need to look at that in a holistic way, the way it is, in a sense that not one entity will tone it down. And you wouldn't even talk of a cure, you'd rather talk of management. Yeah? Because the real cure should be tagged to removing the cause. And in most cases, cause is lifestyle. Unless you look at the causes, lifestyle, when you talk about lifestyle, these days we have to look at environment, we have to look at even governance. There is ESG, if you heard about it, environment, sustainability and governance. When you look at the environment, as you look at diabetes, you have to look at so many things like pollutants in the atmosphere as people sort of destroy the environment, the biodiversity, coming up to that situation where proper foods are not there, and then people don't eat properly, and then there is like the use of kavera, the toxicity that comes in, for you to now come down with having foods that are not so beneficial to your system, all are contaminated by, there is what they call artificial estrogens through use of plastics. When you look at that quagmire in the environment coming into get you into that docket of like you down with obesity, then diabetes and hypertension, you would have to look at the real, what we call a cure, as those that will put the environment right. So the things passed on as medicines, like when we say turmeric, chinzari, all ginger, all cinnamon, they're just a bit of the many things that you have to look at. Because when we talk about health, we want to talk about health, wellness. And WHO defines wellness as a balance between physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial.
Wow.
So under physical, this is where I find food, exercise, and stress management. So it's just a component of the many. So now what you're asking me is under physical, what one would eat and what you may throw in as medication. By the time you're already labeled as diabetic all high blood pressure. Things have already gone bad. Now you need intervention of the purified medicines that could save you from maybe stroke or a calamity. But then after getting them and knowing how to use them, you should be mentally into getting backwards to unclog or to put right what went wrong, but over a long time. So there in research, let me engage now with one notorious one, cancer, which is hitting the world so hard, Uganda so hard. Unfortunately, by the time you're declared with cancer, marked with maybe tumors here and there, this cancer would have been propagated over a long time. Yeah, because when you read in literature, like by the time they find a tumor which is maybe size of a pea, it would have been coming through 8 years. Wow. So by the time this is seen, there is already other cancer cells. Even though in hospital they may remove the tumor, it may not mean the cancer has been eliminated. Yes. So the issue is to look at this symptom, which is being tagged to maybe what they are calling cancer, and handled or managed as a symptom, but you must know, you must probe to see how did it come about, and you track it back to diet, lifestyle. Okay, even the genetics may be there, but still when you read around you find that genetics should not be a condemnation. It's like the gene may be there, but unless you provoke it, you may provoke it into getting you into cancer, or you could even keep it switched off if you're doing right things.
And the right things that right feedings.
Bottom line, the right things, right foods, but right lifestyle. For example, you could be a workaholic. You work, or you don't even rest. So that alone can get you into your body creating toxicity, and it's the toxicity that mainly awakens maybe those cancer genes, and then you start getting these cancer cells. We all have them, but then if you get them precipitated into now what you call a tumor, then there you're really having that. So we need to learn a lot to prevent. Even in the ministry, focus is, can we mentor people into preventing? But preventing starts off by knowing the culprits, or those things that throw us into there. Toxicity is coming out as very outstanding. Right from the things we use in our homes, the paints we use, sometimes they are having those very toxic. If you enter a place that has just been painted, you may feel intoxicated. The body will always talk to you. So of course the remedies that leave the building for some time, then you get in there. There is pollution through the plastics that are not food grade that end us into our system.
And sometimes the petrol stations.
Yes,
when you go by to get gas.
I also imagine sometimes you're in traffic jam and like your head is by the window and there is this car next pumping fumes directly into your thingy. Diseases, viral infections, bacterial infections, as long as the diseases depress the immunity system, then the cancer will come up. In fact, cancer is usually a symptom of lowered immunity system. So anything that can lower the immunity system, and I think this awareness is not so much amongst the communities, but we need to know what causes cancer. So things that lower the immunity system, diabetes can lower immunity system, and then these cancer cells now feature, and we also need to know what fuels cancer cells. Yes, we have them, but how can I avoid them coming in to make now cause a tumor? You need to know how they thrive. They thrive on sugar.
Yes.
They thrive on sugar.
Wow.
Yes. So they'll look for sugar. That's why sometimes when you see cancer patients laboring out there, it's like they die of starvation. These cancer cells pick all the sugar. But then when you don't know, you'll be feeding this person with more sugar, or if you don't have cancer yet and you're getting in more sugar than necessary, you'll be propagating that.
But again, Dr. Grace, your brain also needs sugar.
Yes, it does need sugar.
Then how do we balance between starving the cancer cells and the brain that calls for a lot of sugar or sugar?
Yeah, we just need to avoid too much, because when you look at things, for example, if I gave you nakati, you may not know there's sugar already. As long as there's carbohydrate and it's broken down into sugar, that sugar is enough for your body. All fruits have sugar that could be enough, but you find somebody squeezing this juice and then adding sugar. We add lots of excesses. You take something, okay, we need to appreciate where sugar comes from. Sugar comes from carbohydrates.
Yes.
This is starch. It's broken down into glucose, and that's the sugar we need to feed our bodies. But if you get this cassava, then I think the Wazungu do it a lot. They coat it with sugar. There's that unnecessary sugar.
Yes.
You've eaten this bread, then you've added this sugar, then
zesta,
too much. Yes, too much sugar. And some people tend to think, oh, for me I take honey. But even there, the sugar there is sugar.
Oh my God.
Sugar is sugar. Sugar, we need it. If you don't have it, you can't wake up. But if you don't have it, if you have zero sugar, they will say he died in sleep. But if you have slightly more than necessary, that's now the beginning of problems. The tiny cancer cells, these are cells that sort of, it's like they are dying, they are becoming abnormal because of the toxicity, the toxic environment hitting them. But then it's like they divide endlessly. You know, normal cells are made to divide within limits, but now these ones which lose ability to conform to procedure and divide endlessly, those are the cancer cells. And for you to fuel them to be even more aggressive, you feed them with sugar. So at any stage, as you grow and you appreciate that the sugar we have already in the natural foods is good enough, and you accustom yourself to that, you'll be very fine.
That means that we're supposed to, maybe for those who are taking tea, breakfast, we're supposed to be taking this tea without sugar, juice without sugar.
Okay.
Or we phase out only the fizzy drinks like sodas and...
I wouldn't want to jeopardize people who are in business making sugar.
Yes.
But I would say you look at your age. You could be still young and vibrant. In any case, you're active, you burn the sugar. You can take, but don't go overboard to take too much. There are people who really, in a simple small cup, they put 3 teaspoons. It's good to do things in moderation.
Yeah.
And again, amongst the sugars, we know we have this brown sugar, which is not too refined. Because the speed at which sugar gets into your system also matters. This very white, and in any case, for it to be white, it has been treated with corrosive chemicals, even like those hard acids to make it white. Lime, I understand they use lime in the industry there. So as you get conscious in health, you use the crude sugar, the brown sugar.
Yeah, there's something we used to enjoy, Dr. Grace, way back when we were still young, akalodo. I don't know how we call akalodo. But we used to enjoy that thing. And I was told that it is healthy. Yeah,
it is healthy, depending on where it's been made from. Because if you go out there, like I've labored to establish where these people make kalodo, like in the eastern region, where people hide from Indians because it seems there are issues there. So they hide deep there in their plantations. And if you look at the vessels they're using, they may have lead residues, But if it's made well under a regulator, because most of these things are regulated. UNBS regulates such things.
Exactly.
So if they are regulated and you know the residues of hard metal and at the minimum, then you're okay. The kalodo itself is very good because it has all the minerals that are thrown away to give you white sugar.
Can it work as sugar? A substitute for sugar?
It can work as sugar, and it can work as medicine. In that regard, we are looking at minerals. Because so when You know what you asked me about was herbal medicine, but there is what we call traditional medicine, where you not only have herbal, you have mineral medicine, you have, there are venoms, like bee venom, snake venom. These are not herbs, but these are medicines. Yeah. So mineral medicine, there you look at the minerals from the sugar cane, then the soils. So molasses are supposed to be very healthy. That's why they can be given, like you can add mukene and give to malnourished children.
And they get back to life?
Yes, yes.
Wow. Wow. So when we talk about non-communicables, we're talking about what should be applied, should be preventive approach.
Preventive, and it's
not cure.
It's usually
for the already existent disease.
Not cure, because it's a complexity of things. It's even they are called syndromes. So complex, very complex.
Wow.
But in most cases, when you look at basic aspects like diet, lifestyle, the turnaround is very, very quick. Yeah, because food, the major should be plant food. And that's how our teeth are designed. They're not designed to be cannibal.
Plant food, not animal. Plant diet, not animal diet.
Not animal diet. Yeah. Though of course, people have grown up eating the animal diet because that is by vacuum where they grew from.
Of course. There are directions like the western side. Actually, milk substituted water there.
Yeah, what we say, yes, people may be eating their meat and all that, but combine it with greens. You can't go wrong. Combine it, because the greens will always avail fiber, which will ensure that whatever you've eaten maybe wrongly can get out of your system. Yes.
Wow.
And again, meat, we don't say meat is bad. We have red meat, we have white meat. And white meat, the best white meat is rabbit.
The best white meat is rabbit, not even chicken?
It's better than chicken. Yeah, these are things. Why is it so good? Because it has vitamin D, which is very good for immunity boosting. If immunity, the body was created with this natural immunity to fend off diseases, to keep the bodies in balance. But the moment the body loses that natural ability, then of course you come down with a lot of things, some of which you call cancer, others you call this and that. But if you revamp the immunity, the body gets back to.
That means, Dr. according to what you're saying, the greatest medicine would be a preventive approach using diet, plant diet.
Using plant diet,
to be specific.
Plus diagnosis. Regular checkup to really see things early.
Okay, there are people who fear diagnosis. And they're like, the moment I went there, I discover I might die quickly. I'd rather die without knowing. What's your take on that?
I always tell such people that, you imagine if you had a snake in your house. Would you like to know where it is? Can you imagine you have a snake in your house? For me, I think I would like to know where it is, so that I maneuver appropriately. So, yes, that fear is there, but it can be overcome through what we call counseling. Somebody can be counseled into, like, if you do this, this is a payoff. Because naturally, man wants to know, mfunirawa, how do I benefit? Yeah, like even sugar, people say, they will take me away from this, Coca-Cola from this. So I think there are people grounded into counseling. You counsel somebody so that they appreciate. And if it's done well, then people would become other people's counselors. Yes. Okay.
For those joining us, I'm with Dr. Grace Nambatya Kyeyune, Director, Research, Natural Chemo-therapeutics, that is at Ministry of Health, Monago. And at Ministry of Health. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive deep, because her docket is embedded with so many masqueraders, a lot of concoction, and it has really done more harm than good. Let's take a break and be back.
Focus on Healthy Morning. Bethany TV for health. Showing on Bethany TV.
Life is a juggling act, with the demands of life posing the need to look glam and rise to the occasion. But amidst all this, there are things that cannot be compromised, like how we care for our skin, tend to our scalps, revitalize our looks, and rock the ever-changing apparel dynamics.
Join me, your host, Sima, every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Skincare and Beauty as we understand in depth how to care for our skin and look glam in a healthy way.
Are you looking for a platform to advertise your business and boost your sales? Bethany TV got you covered. Take advantage of our introductory rates and maximize your leverage for brand awareness, advertising, product launching, live coverages, activations, and so much more. For booking and more information, contact our sales team on 0785 576 269. Bethany TV for health. Showing on Bethany TV. Life-threatening experiences. More lives on the line. Rekindling the past. Saving lives in spectacular fashions. Chicago Med Season 8. Monday to Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Repeats Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. Next, on Medical Minds, we are thrilled to present a special edition of Medical Minds, a Q&A session with Dr. Nambatya. Do you have questions about men and women infertility or intraviral fertilization, IVF? Share your questions with us on X or Facebook. Hashtag Medical Minds Q&A or simply via WhatsApp on 0786 050 762 or 0742 808 892. After that, join us this Sunday as Teacher Zita presents your questions and Dr. Nambatya provides expert insights. Knowledge is power, so seize this moment to gain invaluable first-hand information right here on Bethany TV for health. Bethany TV for health. Focus. Focus on healthy morning.
Focus on health morning indeed. We're focusing and weighing in on herbal medicine. As we speak now, herbal medicine, people are seeing it as a substitute for modern medicine, for lack of better words, due to the scarcity of it in hospitals, but also expensive to afford. So what is happening here? People are like, I would rather go for herbal medicine. However, herbal medicine dealers have words and phrases that are hard to even cue or pass through our spoken vocabulary, that we heal diabetes, we heal cancer, we heal hypertension. My goodness, these are very, very, very hard phrases. But yes, Dr. Grace Nambatya is in the house and is going to be answering this, because I know she has faced this at some point and she's hard and it's like, my goodness, how are we going to handle this? Dr. Grace,
Yes.
when you hear such phrases, what comes in your heart of heart?
Yeah, what comes to my mind is that big gap of education. Because countries that have gone through all that and reached respectable positions have gone through education.
Okay.
They've had curriculum to mentor people who eventually go out there and keep educating. So Uganda has not been having such, it's just in recent times of COVID that we're now having curriculum, right from curriculum for the non-formal sector, being linked to DIT, Director of Industrial Training,
yes,
where we engage in training ourselves as an institution. It all goes by mentoring these people that this is how you address issues. You don't talk of a cure, because for you to talk of a cure, you must have tried this medicine maybe for even 100 years.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
And there is a way, there is a particular language that should be used not to show the public that you pride in their plight. Because, yeah, I also hear the announcements, that I would call bogus announcements. But of course, announcements that are done by not them, maybe media. So when we educate different categories of stakeholders, I think you have this health reporting. Yeah, so we're seeing this coming down slow but steady. And I trust me, in the coming 5 years, you will see a different picture altogether. This, just saying anything has been from the docket of thinking that this was an area where I wake up and we just think of this and do lots of things. We also lacked a regulation.
Oh.
But now we have, it's called Acts of Parliament on Traditional and Complementary Medicine. It was assented to by the President in 2020. And it's now being implemented. Guidelines are being organized. Come next financial year, we're going to have this implementation like a council in place, like any other professional council. A council would have now committees that would oversee such things. There will be policing and bringing the culprits to like...
Do you think some herbalists are too radical?
Yes, I do. No, they are too radical. Sometimes we can reach out to some and talk to them. We've done a lot of that. Of course, for me, I've been in the sector for quite some time, but I pride myself in a sense that we've really, really done the capacity building, only that every day people are born, and this is a sector where people would I just hire a small place in Kampala and start doing ABCD. But if the public gets educated, like right now, I think this program is educating people and they make informed choices. If they don't give them work to do, if they don't attend to them, then they will think otherwise and get to do other things. Otherwise, this is a sector where there is need to educate at different levels. You can educate right from the informal and non-formal sector up to the formal. We give there is a practical assessment skills passbook that is given to those mentored in the non-formal sector. Then there's a certificate. Then you can get to a diploma, then a degree, master's, PhD.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we get education in here, people also look back and say, "Oh my God, how did I say this?" Because you feel people announcing things short of saying they can resurrect the dead. Yeah. So
yeah, one of the things we've seen, presence of artificial Viagra
yes,
medications, and these herbalists claim that if you are not having a good life as a man, you need these medications. When you take them, you're going to increase in size, you're going to increase in strength. How true is that?
Okay, as you hear, Viagra, this is now a synthetic medication, which was also for other things, by the way, to begin with. I think it was for something related to pressure, but it ended up being for libido. But the challenges with these medicines, they really have those nasty side effects. Now, this guy who is, I think in Uganda it's called Kyeyune, they buy these medicines, mix them in their herbs, and then hoodwink the public. But NDA has done a lot now, like tracking some of those products on the market where they've just been adulterated by these products bought from pharmacies. At the same time, NDA has gone on to ensure that they educate the pharmacists or the pharmacies to watch out for people who come and buy in bulk, because somebody who is going to add a product to their product, they'll not just buy, it's like they'll buy in bulk. But then on the other hand, the public needs to know what happens, how can somebody's libido be reinstated?
Yes.
What happens if somebody has such a challenge? It just means the blood vessels are sort of constricted and they need to be opened up a bit, and you get more oxygen getting through. And this is done by a component called nitric oxide.
Okay.
And this nitric oxide is from simple foods like beetroot. You just need to get a juice, beetroot juice, the strawberry.
Yes.
Some of these are sold by companies bringing things from outside. I think you've heard of various companies selling supplements, but very expensive. But we have simple foods, beetroot and honey, and these things are open on Google.
Just this beetroot which we find on market.
Yes.
And these strawberries which are all over.
In fact, for me, people would not, for me, I'm a chemist. And I really love chemistry because you just need to go, and it will show you, okay, nitric oxide, if you take it to inert blood vessels and then the blood flow will, get in, and it serves the purpose of libido. Nice. Simple thing.
You talked about beetroots, you talked about strawberries. Where does this leave fruits like watermelons?
Yes, I was going to say even watermelon. There is also there's a root which is like beetroot, but it's called maca. Maca root. It's like beetroot, but it's white. Okay. But
yes, I've seen that.
We've now.
I thought it was an onion.
It's like that, but it's very good, even for people who are not so conceiving because of libido issues. Sim. And gin nuts for men, very good.
So instead of going to buy it's manya, whatever.
And those things that are bought, first of all, by age category, they could get people into very bad effects. But foods that, even if you went and Googled, the issue is to know the right terminology to use. But these days we have, even ChatGPT can give you a guide. I know it wouldn't give you maybe spot on. The answers may not always be spot on, but it's a good guide. Right now, if you went to ChatGPT and put in libido natural products, it will line you up all those, and then you can try, because what works for you may not work for another person. But at least beetroot, that one I know, unless you're not compatible with beetroot.
Okay.
And again, when you talk about sensitive things like libido, everything is also in the mind. Because if you lost a job, I don't think if you lost a job, you will have a nagging wife at home, and you have to put things into context. The environment in which you are.
Maybe working and family is falling apart. Maybe your job is also falling apart. And
so, in addition, when we get to like the emotional bit of health, emotional and spiritual, you need to have your conscience raised. People, when you go onto the road and you see people rowdy, people looking like they are empty, I mean, these are not people, those will not even get libido, they'll get lust. These are the people who get into you don't call it. But if you're not into that category and you have time off to reflect on you yourself, know who you are, in which case this reflection takes you into getting ideas that will add on to you to become even better. Raises your consciousness. Maybe you are somebody who is even not fair to others. There are people, they're not fair to their wives, you see. You are that selfish person, you don't want to know what has happened to the other. There is no way you're going to get libido. What you'll get will be something different.
Exactly. But again, Dr. Grace, we've seen these guys are still, even to the ladies themselves, they're still struggling. They are taking a lot of concoction that their body would be watery. There's a lot of funny stuff going on, and it is getting into people's mind. You see ladies are taking drinks, they are mixing bushera with a lot of herbs that they'll be so weight. I mean, there's a lot of things that are unimaginable going on, and it's the herbal dealers who are selling these things.
By the time somebody lies to you, you've also allowed yourself to be lied to. It takes two to tango. One thing I know for sure, we all don't take enough water.
Oh, sure.
Water as water, not made into a concoction or something. If we can pay attention to, our brains need a lot of water for you to think properly. So if we can put emphasis to hydrating our bodies, but of course taking care of knowing what water, because even some of the water maybe not the best. Right now, our neighboring country, Kenya, you will not find any plastic bottle anywhere in a hotel or whatever.
What?
Yes, here I think it has started in Serena, getting a glass bottle. But it's not rocket science for us to get water in the right vessels. Yeah, in homes you can get back to the traditional pot. So that, that pot, by the way, enriches the water with minerals and taste. And then you take that water, you're feeling it really, you like it, it's not like a punishment. So you hydrate yourself. By hydration, you lower down toxicity, you enhance your brain, you even raise your consciousness, you really feel you're enriched, and in that way, you can even think of your partner. You don't need to take, because herbals, actually some herbals influence the physiology of the body. In that regard, they are called medicines. All one herb, I mean, this just a simple thing like mojaja, cinnamon, but then when you combine them, they become now medicine. Yeah, so the primary thing to care for is just water. Because now people who play on our minds and say this one, that one, because you also give a listening ear. I mean, haven't you seen somebody saying, "Oh, I'm giving you this one for you to be rich," but the person doesn't even look anywhere rich.
Exactly.
So it's all about psychology. If we utilize it well, you know, we ourselves, God gave us the powers. First of all, to know who you are, the attributes you have. We miss out a lot by always thinking somebody will guide me. You know, that syndrome of just always thinking. So when you discover yourself and the capacity you have, and start position yourself to help these other people.
Dr. Grace, haven't you had any disagreements between the so-called herbalists, this mentality and your mentality?
Yes, the disagreements are there. I've faced them quite a lot, but I'm privileged to be educated all around. Yeah, I'm a teacher by profession. Okay. I easily get to know, this one needs to be educated. I've met it, like, you know, our institution, the mandate we have, we can go wherever in the country, reach out to districts, and you meet these district leaders who first of all think of herbal medicine, they think of witchcraft or what, then you easily get to know, okay, you don't condemn them, but you easily know, this one has a gap. And then by the time you leave office, you've mentored them a bit. You've thrown them into knowing that maybe they could even be crying of no medicine in the hospital, but that tree that would give them something is just even outside of the office. Okay. I've always believed a lot in mentoring fellow Ugandans in that sense, that if I was given an opportunity to educate up to PhD level, and lived in the UK for a long time and saw how now the whites are coming to us for the gold we're having, but we're not realizing. I just toe a line of saying, this one needs help, you know, and I've also tried to build capacity such that I may not be one Nambatya, there are many Nambatyas out there.
Yes.
And people feel happy at the end of the day. They feel happy. I've also seen some Indian movies focusing on getting their people to know that you may long to go there, thinking it's better there. But when you realize what the other people are also taking as good and they are in your country, then you can go, yes, but long to come back and add value.
Is there a difference between herbal medicine and traditional medicine?
Yes, there is a difference. Herbal medicine is focusing on to the herbs, the things you can touch, leaves, soft plants, the trees. But traditional goes broad. it has the herbal medicine, it has, they call it spiritual, whether you see it or you don't see it, because the definition of WHO goes beyond tangible, intangible. Yeah, so for WHO's definition, traditional medicine, it has so many things. But when you say herbal, you're pulling out the herbal. And that's what Ministry of Health here focuses on to. And the rest goes to Ministry of Culture.
Where does narcotics fall? Into herbal medicine, talk about marijuana, cocaine.
Yeah.
Because some people think nti bwemba nnyo enjaga yange mba nina obulwadde bwenvumula maaso Dr. Grace waliwo ekyajja e Kampala caayi w'enjaayi baddira enjaga ne bagifumbira mu mazzi ne batunda caayi n'abantu abakulu ennaku zino bagamba mu caayi w'enjaayi awonya oba alina byavumula kituufu?
Okay, that tea has always been taken since time immemorial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you will find old people near there in the kitchen with a big kettle. They would even give to their poultry, and at that level.
What is in enjaga? Mulimu birungo ki byetwetaaga ebirungi?
Okay, enjaga, basically it's the only plant that is like a human being.
Come again?
A human being has what we call, they are nodes. We call them, nodes?
Not really.
Oh my God. A body has, there are nodes all over. These are nodes through which the body gets balanced.
Okay.
There's another terminology I'm forgetting. Now the plants njaga also has similar nodes. I may say, like, if you see, like, say MTN, I think there are certain masts, or even a network. Maybe I'm sure TVs also have.
Yes.
There are those particular points which should network well. And for you, a human being.
Something like what sort?
No.
Okay. Nodes. You call it node. Node with K-N-O-D?
N-O-D-E,
okay.
nodes.
Okay.
Sorry, the word has come out. Okay, take it that a human being, for him to be balanced, there are particular points, like one here, through which maybe nerves sort of converge.
Okay.
And they have to be balanced.
Okay.
And if they fall out of balance, then a disease manifests. Approaches to treatment are several. There is one that is through balancing, and this is where people who do massage can help one to
the therapeutics.
Yeah, sort of your body should be in harmony. Yeah. Okay. Disease might be, there's this bacteria disturbing you and you're given an antibiotic. There is this fungus disturbing you. But there is falling sick because of imbalances between particular nodes on the body. And marijuana is the only plant which has similar arrangement. And when it's used, it balances the body.
Wow.
Yes. But then the unfortunate bit is it has those attributes of killing senses, making people not feel, and that now is used by people who are criminals, which is not good.
Okay, does that happen when it is taken in excess? Or even if it's not taken in excess?
Actually, first of all, I've remembered the word cannabinoids. It has cannabinoids. There is cannabis in there, but it operates over particular points. Yes, excess, but also in a form of, if it's processed. You know, when something is processed, what is gotten out is conch. When it's not processed and it lives on water, well, people may feel like maybe they benefit something, but which could be at very, very minimal level. But of course, with long-term use, it could maybe, it could have its dangerous issues. Like the dangerous bits are this making somebody not have remorse, feeling they're on top of the world, saying they can do anything. That's why people kill without feeling for the person, or engage in activities where you wonder, how did somebody do that?
How about mairungi, cut?
Well, that one, chemically, when you check around the chemicals in there, they could have bad effects on the liver. But of course, that is after cumulative use.
After cumulative use.
Yes. Wow. When you read, it's open information in there. You know, and these are products that should be regulated. They should be regulated to know who should use. If a pregnant woman used it, what are the issues? Because pregnant mothers, imagine if a pregnant mother ate it and it went to the fetus. Well, it may not happen in a day or two, but there is need to know, and those chemicals are there.
All right. Dr. Grace, in that camera, please, what would be your last word in just a minute concerning herbal medicine use for Ugandans out there watching?
Yeah, herbal medicine, much as it's good, we should know that it can also be dangerous, to the level that sometimes you need guidance before taking a herb you don't understand. It's important to take it that way, that it's also medicine and it needs regulation. Yeah.
Wow. It's medicine that needs regulation.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Grace Nambatya Kyeyune is a Director Research Natural Chemo-therapeutics at the Ministry of Health, joining us here. Chintu Mutisasi is my name. We've been weighing in on herbal medicine. We'll be right back anytime with Dr. Grace, God willing. Thanks for joining in. Good morning.
Focus.